Hello, hello, lovely beings. It's so good to see you all online. Welcome to our joint freeing series from a chair. My name is Erica Faith Dyer. I am a somatic therapist, a yoga therapist, reflexologist, mind body wellness practitioner, and I am so passionate about helping people become embodied and feeling so good in their body. So freeing our joints is one way we get to do that. So I invite you to find a chair here. I'm just using, a regular chair. You can do this with shoes on, but it's definitely preferred to do it with your shoes off. So if you would like to, very good. All right. Find yourself in a comfortable seated position. See if you can get your feet connected to the ground and your seat connected to the chair. And we're just going to warm up with a little bit of swaying motion. Try to make one side a little firmer, the other side a little firmer. Couple little rocks here, back and forth. Good. And then I invite you, check with your shoulders. If it's okay, send the arms out by the side. Take a nice exhale to go. You can also play with sending the arms out in front and sending them down with the palms down. So see which way feels better in your body. Starting to move all of your presence here into this room. Exhaling as the hands come down. Inhaling as the arms come up. Now, maybe you have a certain project you're working on. Maybe you have a certain intention you'd like to hold for your body. I invite you to bring your hands to your heart. You can even ask your body, what would you like to feel more of? And listen and receive the message. Good. Maybe you set that intention for your practice today. Let's begin by warming up our wrists. We can bring our thumbs in, cover the thumbs, start to make some gentle circles in one direction and gentle circles in the other direction. Good. Let's send the arms out to the sides and then send the fingertips down. One more time, flat hands and fingertips down. Now very slowly we're going to flip the arms, palms up. Slowly start to take the palms and the fingers towards the ground. Probably a really good stretch. One more time, fingers down. And then slowly let that go. Let's roll out those shoulders. See if we can really move them up, back, down, forward, up, back, down, forward. Now notice what happens with the breath as we start working with the shoulders. Can we invite the breath to be longer, slower, smoother? In and out through the nose if we can. And then we'll reverse the direction of our circle. Come back, up, forward, down, back, up, forward, down. Good. All right, from here we're going to send our hands to our knees. We're going to work with cat-cow motion. So can we tuck the tailbone under, round through lower back, middle back, upper back, chin towards the chest. And then take a deep inhale. Keep the shoulders down and away from the ears, but tilt the tailbone back. Pull the chest through. Maybe you open the front of the neck a little bit, but no kinks in the back of the neck. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, squeeze pelvic floor up and in, belly button towards backbone, chin towards chest. And inhale, tailbone tilts back, shoulder blades are hugging together. Maybe the front of the throat opens a little. Now, you can stay right where you are. I'm going to move my seat to the side so you can see. tucking the tailbone, pulling belly button towards backbone, stretching through the back. And then inhaling, tilting that tailbone, squeezing the shoulder blades. Exhaling to tuck and round, relaxing the shoulders. Inhaling, all the back muscles contracting. This flexion and extension of the spine is so important for our health. And then really hugging those shoulder blades together on the back. Maybe 1 or 2 more times feels like enough. Notice back muscles stretching, front core activating, strengthening. And then the back starts to strengthen and the front core relaxes. Noticing those opposites in the body. And slowly starting to come back to center. Let's warm up our hips a little bit. Now I'm going to remove my flip-flops off to the side. If you're comfortable without shoes, I highly recommend doing this without shoes. Maybe we're holding on to the sides of the chair, making sure we feel comfortable and supported. We're going to send that right knee up, and then we're going to make 5 circles, as small or as big as feels comfortable for you. Simultaneously, can we lift the sternum, relax the shoulders down the back, and then let's go in the opposite direction for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's extend that leg out. Let the heel of the foot relax onto the ground. I'll play with the angle one more time. See if we can't just bring it down a little bit. Wiggle it just a little bit. I want to see you. Good. All right, good. So, heel is on the ground. Toes are dorsiflexing, pointing back to the shin. This may feel really good right here. Maybe we start to play with leaning into it a little bit, but even as we're leaning forward, can we squeeze the shoulder blades on our back like we're hugging a bottle of water? We want to try to keep a back bend even though we're semi-forward folding. Maybe surrender the chin down towards the chest. Take a couple deep breaths here. You can even sigh it out. Let go of some tension in those hamstrings, calves. Now you don't want to feel this in the knee, so if you do a slight bend into the knee. And then emphasize heel of the foot pressing further away from you. Toes of the foot squeezing back towards the shin, shoulder blades hugging together, chin relaxing towards the chest. One more deep breath here. Good. All right, we'll slowly move our torso up. Let's circle out those ankles, this ankle, and other direction. Get some snap, crackle, pops out. And set that foot down. Let's move on to the left side. We'll pick up that knee. We'll sit up nice and tall. We'll take 5 circles. Move slow and controlled. Try to use the same pacing all the way around. Good. And then let's reverse that circle. Go the opposite direction. Are we breathing? Are our shoulders relaxing? And set that down. We'll extend that left leg. We'll check in with the knee. We don't want to feel this stretch in the knee. The knee doesn't need any stretch. It needs more stabilization, more strengthening. So we can do that by putting a slight bend into the knee. Really emphasize heel pressing down. Emphasize toes pulling back towards the shin. Then sit up nice and tall. Hug the shoulder blades together gently on the back, and then maybe from the hips start to come forward. Notice I said the hips, not the waist. We want to keep the back strong. We want to prevent any injuries to the back or to the knee. Notice where it feels best, and let's hang out here a few more breaths. Shoulder blades hugging, chin relaxing, deep inhale through the nose. Sighing it out. Emphasize heel pressing further away, toes hugging back towards the shin. Hopefully you feel a good stretch in the calves or the hamstring for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly move the torso up. Let's circle out that ankle. You can always hold on to the side of the chair if that would help in opposite direction. And we'll set that down. All right, from here, we're going to sit way back in our chair. Sit all the way back. All right, we're going to send the feet out in front of us, and then can we squeeze the inner thighs to get the big toes to come together? Feet are pretty flat. And then can we squeeze the glutes to make the heels come together? Good. Toes come together. Heels come together. Now, this is normal to feel a little achy, a little stiffness. The more that you do this, the more you're starting to release the tight fascia in the hip or in the leg, maybe both. We'll do about 2 more here. And then we'll slowly bend those knees. And then we'll stay seated back in the chair. We're going to extend both the legs and drop them down. You know, the body just likes movement. So if we're driving a lot, if we're sitting behind a computer, or if we're doing a lot of sitting for our work or during our day, the body feels better the more that it moves. So if we're just starting on our fitness journey, know that it gets easier and easier every day, and that your tissues are alive and they're learning what you want them to do. And so if you're working with an injury, or I call them a project, yeah, following your physical therapy, or if you need a yoga therapist, I'm your woman. Right, one more time. And we'll set that down. All right, we'll scoot up more towards the edge of the chair again. See how that provides a lot of room for underneath the legs. We're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to inhale one arm up, and then exhale. Keep that right hip grounded. Now can you really pull the right shoulder back a little bit, left shoulder forward, and then reach towards the upper corner of the room. Reach, reach, reach. And then come to center. Other side. Emphasizing getting long in the spine. And then really pressing down with that left hip, left foot. Reaching towards the upper corner. Emphasize left shoulder pulling back, right shoulder moving forward. And come to center. We'll do this a couple times more in like a, maybe we add little circles with our arms. Starting to flow with life's changing waves. If you've found yourself here, you're probably, I don't know, either healing from an injury or in midlife and beyond. And adding some flowing movement to our day is really good for us. When we flow in our body, we also build neuroplasticity to flow in our mind. Good. All right, let's come up to seated. From seated, we're going to extend that right leg long. And then we're going to point the toes far away. Notice that stretch in the front side of the leg. And then let's send the toes towards the shins, noticing the stretch in the back side of the leg. Inhale to point the toes far away. And exhale to flex through the foot. You're doing great. A couple more times. Now, if you want to make this a little more challenging and build some strength in those quads, you can lift the leg up. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. And exhale, flex. Do that one more time. I'm going to check my lighting. Oh, bummer. Life happens. We can't control all of life. And while I'd like to have better lighting for you guys, sometimes things happen. All right, let's bring that leg back in. Let's move to the other side. And we'll inhale, point our toes. And exhale, flex the foot. Inhale to point. Exhale to flex. And again, on this side, if you want to build more quad strength, you can pick the leg up. Even an inch will make it more challenging. You can hold on to the sides of the chair. Can you keep your sternum, collarbones lifting, but chin down, back of the neck nice and long. Slowing down the breath, slowing down the movement. One more time. And set that down. All right, let's kind of tap those heels. Maybe we even shake our arms. You can bring them up if you like. Just letting out some energy in our body. You know, a lot of the times if we're on a healing journey, the body, all of the body wants movement. And so these type of tapping, shaking kind of practices are really good for the whole body. We're just moving a little chi. All right, let's go ahead and start to work with our feet. Can we come onto the balls of our feet and lift our heels? And then slowly set them down. Try to control the movement on the way up as you lift the heels, press down into the balls of the feet, and slowly bring them back down. Press through the balls of the feet, lift the heels, a few more rounds. Noticing the quads contracting, front of the legs, lower legs getting a good stretch. Now might be a good time to call in that intention of what your body's feeling like it wants more of. And if you weren't here at the beginning of class, it could be something simple like more ease, more love, more joy, maybe even neutrality, harmony, balance. Last one. Good. We'll set that down. We'll move the toes out in front of us another inch or two. Now we'll keep the heels on the ground and we'll squeeze the toes towards the shin. We really want to start to build strength along those muscles next to the shins. And then maybe we slow this down with our breath. Inhaling one direction and exhaling the other. See, if we don't set an intention for our day, for our life, life will just pull us in all the different directions. So our movement, the times that we're doing movement, it doesn't matter if you're doing a workout class at home, you're at the gym, you're at a yoga class, Pilates, whatever you do, if you add in an intention of what you want to feel more of, maybe you want to feel stronger, braver, maybe you want to embody more kindness, more curiosity, more playfulness. Then you have an intention that you can work with, a focus to reorient yourself to and come back to over and over again. Good. Last one. And then we'll move the feet back a little bit and then we'll do heels up, toes up, heels up, toes up, heels up, toes up. We want to stretch through the bottoms of the feet. Did you know that up to 80% of back pain can be linked to tight feet? And that's why you'll see, you know, one of my first YouTube videos was all about releasing the fascia in your feet. That's why I got into reflexology. It is so helpful to work our feet. Two more. Last one. All right, take a deep inhale in, choose your arm position. Full exhale. And then this is a beautiful time to start adding in our intention to our body. Like, body, I want to know what it feels like to be strong. Body, I want to know what it feels like to be curious. Body, I want to know what it feels like to be love. Whatever it is, try it out and see how that feels in your body to really call it in with our movement. One more time, deep inhale. And full exhale. Good. All right, a lot of us have differences hip to hip, so maybe you can look for your hip bone. See if you can get your fingers on your hip bone. We're going to pretend we're at like salsa dancing lessons or happy hour, and we're going to hitch one hip up and relax it. Hitch the other hip up and relax it. Hitch a hip, hitch the other. Hitch, 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 hitch. Now, it takes the muscles in the obliques, in the glutes, to really help the hip hitch. Now, do you notice it's easier one side, harder on the other? Maybe you do a couple on the side that it's harder, stick with that same side, maybe 4 or 5 extra times, and then go back and forth. Hitch, relax, hitch, relax, hitch, relax. Good. All right, let's send those hands to the knees. We'll send the torso out in front of us and behind us. It feels so good to move the body, to become embodied, to really feel, sense, and notice what's going on with us. And then reverse that circle. Try to go the other way a few times. Come to circle. 3 deep breaths. Body, I want to know what it feels like. Exhale your statement. Body, I want to know what it feels like. One more time. Good. All right, from here we're going to extend that right leg. Can you make a flat foot or bring the toes towards the shin? We're going to hold on to the sides of the chair, and then we're going to lift this leg and lower it. Now as the leg comes up, squeeze belly button towards backbone, squeeze lower belly up and in to help guide this leg up. Oh, for 5. Feel that quad firing. Feel yourself getting stronger every time you lift your leg. For 2. Can we hold this last one for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and set it down. Good. We can tap it out. Sometimes I even like to take a soft fist and gently kind of tap those muscles that just worked hard for us. Thank you, muscles. Thank you, body. Thank you. And then the other side. Foot is pretty flat. Inhale to lift up and slowly lower. Think about really squeezing the lower abdominal muscles, squeezing belly button towards backbone as you rise. Lifting the chest, but relaxing the shoulders. Now, if you smile, it makes it 50% easier, they say. Try it out. Tell me what you think. For 2. This last one, can you hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and oh my goodness, set that down. We'll tap that out, tap that out. All right, we're going to do just a little bit more as we send this knee up and out and over to the side, up and back to the center. Other side, send it up and out and back to the center. Up and out and back to the center. Good. We want to move slow and controlled. We are avoiding any sharp or shooting pains, but it's normal to feel a little uncomfortable, a little pinchy or tension. You know, it's really brave to meet your physical tightness, because when you meet your physical tightness, you're also meeting your mental and emotional tightness. And so when you free yourself in your body, you're freeing yourself in your mind and your heart. And Feels so good. You're doing great. We are almost there. Beautiful work, everyone. What a sacred honor it is to take care of your body. All right, did I already say last one? One more time. Test out my theory. If you smile, does it make it easier? And set that down. This time, we're going to work our triceps a little bit and strengthen our shoulders. So, can we turn our palms up and inhale? And then exhale, turn those palms down. When the arms come down by the side, can you squeeze the back of the arms to raise them a little higher? Inhale. Exhale, flip the palms, turn them down, and squeeze those arms back behind you. One more. Last one. Good. All right, from here, if it's okay in your shoulder, we're going to make our little cactus arms. Fingers are spread, but still pretty soft. We're going to exhale, slowly bring those arms down, and then inhale, bring them up. Exhale, bring them down. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, bring them down. Inhale, bring them up. We got 3 more. Allow the breath to be longer, slower, deeper. Last one. We really want to move the shoulder every day. From here, let's bring the palms together, elbows together. Can we really squeeze them together? Squeeze the chest muscles. Press the forearms together. Press the palms together, fingers together. Start to raise this up, 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 up. Eventually, the elbows come apart, forearms come apart, palms come apart. Turn the hands down and stretch out to the side. Oops. Palms together, elbows together. Squeeze, raise, lift. Eventually they come apart, palms turn down, and we stretch to the side. Let's do that one more time. Squeezing, raising, lifting, and stretching. Good work. Let's shake those arms out. Maybe we shake those legs out. Good. And then allow the palms to come up for a moment and just recenter on our breath. Here's a great practice for expanding our breathing capacity. We'll take 3 inhales and 1 longer, slower exhale. Take a sip of air and breathe into the chest, into the ribs, into the belly, and a long, smooth exhale through an open mouth or a mouth closed. Good. 3 more inhales. Good. Couple more rounds. To the chest, to the ribs, to the belly. Notice how you start to sit up even a little taller with this breath. One more time. Breathe into the chest, into the ribs, into the belly. Long, smooth exhale. I can even do it. Wonderful work, everyone. All right, we're going to get into a couple more arm exercises. So we're going to send the elbows out towards the side. We're going to make soft fists, so you can bring the thumbs in and then cover the thumbs. And we're going to just press up and press up, press up and press up. Now if you're healing or if it's sharp, don't do it. If you're healing and you want to try coming forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's set that down. And we're just going to curl our biceps. So What's really important for our joint health is that we start to strengthen really close to the joints. So we want our arms to be a little longer and then squeeze. Try to fire the muscle from the elbow all the way up into the shoulder. And you're welcome to use weights with this. I don't have any here today, but think about really relaxing, getting long, and then squeezing the whole muscle. Good. For 3, for 2, and 1. Set that down. All right, let's extend that right leg out in front of us. And then we're going to turn the toes in just a little bit. Turn the whole leg. So you want to rotate up at the femur bone to turn the knee and the toes in. And then we're going to slide and glide out to the right and back to center. Out to the right and back to center. Now you can keep your heel on the ground, or if you want a little more challenge, lift the leg up and start to squeeze out to the side. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bend into that knee, set that foot down. Let's extend the left leg long, and then from the upper part of the leg, can we turn so the whole leg turns like 1/2 inch? And then we'll slide it out to the left and back to center. Thinking about armpits hugging down towards the hips. Think about all the back muscles engaging. If we want a little more strengthening for the leg, we pick it up off the ground. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's bend that knee. You can tap it out. Take a deep breath of air in. Call in your intention again. You know, the mind wanders. We got to remind the mind over and over again. No, I'm focusing on joy. No, I'm focusing on vibrant health. I'm focusing on strength, on love, on bliss, on growth, on learning. I'm focusing. I am open to evolving. I am open to learning, growing, connecting. One more breath here. Good. All right, let's get those inner thighs a little bit so we can start here. See if we can bring the feet together and then the knees come out to the side. Now, don't put any pressure directly on the knees, but maybe you invite the inner thighs to kind of stretch out a little bit more. And then sit up nice and tall, relax the shoulders, soften the jaw, release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. You can even let the teeth kind of have a little space between the teeth. Good, just like that. One more breath here. And relax that. We'll let those knees come together. This time we'll move the feet pretty wide, wider than the hips. Maybe we're holding onto the chair. We're just going to let both of the knees go to one side and both of the knees go to the other side. We're going to kind of windshield wiper from a chair. And we're stretching the outer leg for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come back to center. Now, let's work with our shoulders just a little bit more. We're going to turn our palms up and we're going to relax the traps down away from the ears. And then we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together like it wants to hug a bottle of water, and then relax it. Squeeze it and relax it. Really thinking about the spinal penne and the lats underneath the shoulder blades, all of them hugging towards the middle of the body, towards the spine. This is going to help us stand up nice and tall, sit up nice and tall. It keeps our hearts open. It stretches the chest and contracts the back side of the body for 3, for 2, and 1. Good. And what if we call in our intention again, and then we start to kind of tap that into our heart space, like, oh yeah, I'm focused on love, bliss, growth, healing, playing, enjoying, strengthening, connecting, movement, enriching, evolving, emerging, enlivening, oozing with joy. I don't know. What else do you got? What are your intentions? Tap them right into your heart space until you're all the way filled up. It's like you can call this in to your bones, to your blood, to your muscles, to your fascia, to your brain, to your heart, to every cell of the body, calling it in, inviting it in, opening to the possibilities of things coming together, to ease, connection. And then once you feel complete, then we'll work on spreading that out into the world. And also we're still using those back muscles to squeeze now, one arm at a time, hugging back. One arm at a time as we spread our intention out into the room, out into the world. Such a beautiful thing to set intentions in community, because I'm a big believer that when we heal and grow together, our healing intentions expand even faster and further than we could ever imagine. Couple more here. Spread your love, your light, your joy. Good. All right. Now let's take in our 3 deep breaths. You can bend at the elbows. Exhaling when the arms are coming down. You can go up front, palms up. Exhaling, palms down. See what feels best in your body. All right, we have one more lower body move here. We're going to really get into the hip, the sacrum, the piriformis. So see, can you cross at the legs? If you can't cross at the legs, cross at the ankles, and then you're going to circle your ankle. Now, if you can do that, we want to see if we can cross at the hips. If we can cross at the hips, then we'll also turn our ankle. Next, we're going to move more towards a number 4. See if this feels okay in the body. Now, this is a pretty edgy stretch, but it's something that's really good for our lower back, our hip, our leg. Send your toes back towards your shin. Sit up nice and tall, and then maybe we lean into it a little bit more and come out of it. We're looking for our edge. We're looking to see a meaningful, helpful place. So it's not always the most comfortable, but again, no sharp shooting pain. And then find your edge, find where it feels most helpful. Relax the shoulders, soften the tongue from the roof of the mouth. And we're hinging from the hips. So can the shoulder blades hug? Can the chin relax? Can we take a few deep breaths here? Taking a few moments to appreciate some silence. Noticing the breath. And then slowly come up. We're going to lift that knee up. We're going to see if we can just get the foot and the lower legs to kind of wag a little side to side. Good. And then we'll set that down. Take a moment to notice what it feels like on the right side of the body. And then notice the difference on the left side of the body. Noticing any subtle or obvious differences. All right, and then when you're ready, we'll cross at the ankle and we'll circle the ankle. If that feels okay, we can see with crossing at the thighs and moving the ankle. And if that feels okay too, we can play with our number 4 stretch. Now sit up nice and tall, and when you're ready, we're going to begin to slowly kind of come forward from the hips, not from the ribs. Think about the hips moving closer towards the leg or the torso from the hips. And then eventually we'll find that place that feels really helpful and meaningful. We can always hold on to our chair if we feel like we want it. Hug the armpits down, relax the chin, soften the jaw. And take a nice few deep breaths. Our joints require one movement, right? Our joints are like use it or lose it. And then they also require that strengthening right up as close to the joint as we can get, which means we want to strengthen from long positions. So whether we're working out in a gym or in our yoga or these chair yoga classes, we want to keep that in mind. We want to move all of the joints. Couple more deep breaths. Think about the heart still lifting, collarbone still lifting, back muscles engaged, a lot of energy on the back side of the body, and of course in the hip and the lower back. And then slowly start to come up. All right, we're going to do one more thing that's going to help our feet, ankles, knees, hips, all in a couple moves. So sit all the way back in your chair. We're going to extend the legs out in front of us. We're going to inhale, point the toes far away from us. Exhale, press through the heels of the feet, send the toes towards the shins. Now we did this already individually. We're just going to do a couple and then we're going to add on. So this move can really help our feet, ankles, knees, and hips. You know, I already said that, but that's how helpful this move is. Now, sometimes we start to cramp in our feet, and believe it or not, the cramping in our feet is actually the fascia starting to reform and figure out that you're creating more space in your feet. So, take a nice inhale, start to curl the toes, and then point the toes far away, like you're holding a pencil with your toes, and then drop the pencil. Start to send the toes back towards the legs and try to spread each and every toe. And then curl the toes like you're holding onto a tissue or a pencil. Stretch them far away from you. And then drop the pencil. Start to really press through the heels of the feet, send the toes towards the shin, and spread each and every toe. We got 3 more. Curling the toes under, dropping the pencil, pressing through the heels, spreading each and every toe. One more time. Emphasize squeezing a little bit longer, dropping the pencil, pressing through the heels of the feet and spreading each and every single toe. Good. And then we'll take a couple ankle circles, other direction. Whoo-wee, the hardest part is over. Take a deep breath in, second breath in, longer, slower exhale to go. Couple more rounds, double inhale. This is called the physiological sigh. I call it a reset breath. It's scientifically proven to lower our stress levels, lower our blood lower our blood pressure, and help release cortisol. So when we're really stressed and we're really anxious, our blood pressure is rising, our cortisol levels are rising. This breath really helps reset. And if you take a look at yourself in the mirror, you can almost see your body beginning to decompress. One more breath, double inhale. Longer, slower exhale. Good. All right, let's get into our neck. We're going to send our chin down towards our chest. And we're going to send it towards one collarbone and the other collarbone. One collarbone, the other collarbone. Now, if this is feeling okay, and it's normal to hear snap, crackle, pops, we're going to add on more of a U shape where the chin comes up and down towards the chest and up and down the other side. Moving slow and controlled. If it sounds like Rice Krispies, you're doing it right. Good. What's beautiful about our bodies is that our tissues grow with us the way that we kind of tell them to by the actions that we make. Start to come to center. All right, let's lower our chin just a little bit, and then we'll send one ear towards one shoulder. And then the other ear towards the other shoulder. And can we soften our jaw while we're doing this? Going side to side a couple more times, moving slow. Last one. On the other side. And then we'll slowly come to center. If all that felt okay, we're going to slowly sit up nice and tall, send the head back a little bit, and then turn to look over one shoulder. Come back to center, turn to look at the other shoulder. And come back to center. All right, most of us really have a lot of stress and tension that we hold in our jaw, our neck, and our shoulders. So if it feels good in your body and you'd like to take this a little bit deeper, we're going to extend the right arm out to the right, palms facing up, and it's lower than the shoulder. Chin's going to come down towards the chest, and then we're going to send the left ear towards the left shoulder. Notice how that intensifies it. Come back to center, take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, send the ear towards the shoulder. Relax both of the shoulders. One more time. This time, if you'd like to add on, start to look up towards the ceiling out of the corner of your eye. And start to look down at the floor out of the corner of the other eye. And move the eyes again to look at the ceiling. Maybe hear a little popping in the ears, or you want to yawn, or your mouth starts to water. That's some of the things that we're looking for. Well, this is really a somatic healing practice that I work on with my somatic therapy clients, but it's so helpful. We're creating more space for our vagus nerve. Slowly start to come back to center. Relax down. It's normal to feel a little different, right? We just released a lot of tension from deep inside the head, the shoulders, and even the neck. So good work. Our vagus nerve is the 7th cranial nerve, and it runs really rich in the face. It has a lot of nerve endings in the face and the side of the neck. It runs through the chest, down through the core, all the way down to the pelvic floor. And this vagus nerve is responsible for our rest and digest, but also our social engagement and feeling comfortable being around other people and in community. It also impacts so much of our health and our healing. So if we have a lot of tightness around the vagus nerve, it's easier to be in fight, flight, freeze more frequently. Let's do the other side. Send the left arm out to the side, palms facing up, and the hands lower than the shoulder. Relax the shoulder down, tuck the chin down just a little bit, And then send right ear, right shoulder. Slowly come back to neutral. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Inhale to center. And exhale, right ear, right ear, right shoulder. If you want to emphasize your eyes, this is great for the vagus nerves. Look out the corners of both of your eyes up towards the ceiling. And then out the opposite direction to the floor. And up towards the ceiling. And down towards the floor. One more time, maybe we're holding a little longer. And down towards the floor. And slowly start to relax that effort. Come back to center. Let's circle the shoulders a couple of times. And then send the chin down towards the chest and slowly make some U-like shapes and see what it feels like now that we've done quite a bit for the neck. All right, well, we'll meet back in neutral. We really worked our body today from head to toes, skin to bones. You know, some of you came in a little late, and I just want to introduce myself as Erica Faith Dyer. I am a somatic therapist, a mind-body wellness practitioner, yoga therapist, reflexologist, and I just love helping people feel amazing in their body. So somatic therapy and this kind of deeper intentional work is really good for our mental, physical, and emotional health. I want to thank you all so much for being here today. If you'd like to follow me, you can find me at Erica Faith Dyer on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I also have a website. It is www.ericafaith.com. And my email, if you have any questions or want to share any feedback from today's class, I would love to hear about it. You can email me at info@ericafaith.com. Let's take one more moment to really ground in to our feet. We did a lot with our feet. Can we feel the heels connected to the ground? Maybe we pick up the toes, get the pinky toes connected. Try to spread each toe and get the big toes connected. Could we feel like there's all of the foot connected to the ground? And then relax the effort. Let's start to warm up the palms of the hands. Can we create some heat with the palms of the hands? Good. And then we'll allow those palms to face up. Maybe we even soften the gaze looking down at the cheek or nose, or close the eyes completely. Now can you move all of your attention into the palms of the hands? Noticing what the palms of the hands are sensing. Maybe tingling, heat, cold, numbness. It doesn't matter. Notice what the palms of the hands are sensing. Good. And then move your attention to your chest. Can you notice how the breath moves the body? Noticing that soft expansion as you inhale. And that soft melting or decompression as you exhale. A few more rounds of just noticing the breath moving the body. We really worked our body today from head to toe. When you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. It might feel really good to stretch one leg and the opposite arm. Stretch, 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 and ease on out of that. Other side, take a nice inhale as you stretch one arm and the opposite leg. And ease on out of that. Maybe both of the legs, both of the arms. Inhale. And soften out of that. I invite you to seal our practice today with a single hum. Kind of like we're chanting Om, but we're humming. So if you'd like to, I invite you to bring your palms at heart center. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Full exhale. Chanting or humming or singing or listening to Om is just reminding us of the wholeness in life and our connection to all of this. Take a deep breath in. I want to thank you all so much for being here today. It was really my honor and pleasure to guide you through our practice. I'm going to stop recording, and if you have any comments that you'd like to share, feel free to unmute yourself or leave it in the chat. Thank you so much. Ciao.